Yeah.
All right, episode 8. Let's get into it. So, I'm looking to move.
So yeah, as I was,
um,
yeah, go.
yeah. The landlords here, the guy's been living in this place for 10 years.
This is a good start.
Yeah, this is lagging like crazy. It's like it's the worst possible lag I've seen now for. Okay, maybe it's
There you
starting
go.
to fix itself.
Keep talking. It's like coming through slowly. Yeah, it was coming through slowly, but it was like, yeah.
Okay,
I was trying to keep
hopefully.
really still.
Yeah, this is like he's super interested in what I'm saying right now. um, yeah, the guy, he's been living in a place for 10 years, and like the doors are rotting at the base, the light fixtures are all broken,
Oh
and
gosh.
the landlord's just like, nah, not fixing it. Nah,
Yeah.
too bad, not fixing anything. And
Wow.
well, like we went in
And
there.
there's no body. There's no like body that.
No, there's no one looking after you. No one looking after the renter here. Um, I
Wow.
mean, look. I don't know that for sure. You possibly can start like filing
Mm.
some sort of whatever against it, but you probably just end up kicked out or evicted for it. Um,
Yeah.
and also like the rental price is probably low enough that they don't actually care. Oh, shit, I should move it to full screen. Yes, that they probably
Yeah.
don't actually care. So yeah, he's just like, I just can't get a cent out of them. He's been trying to negotiate with the landlord, like I'll pay to fix it, and then I'll just take that money out of the rent. And the guy's like, nah, nah, not doing any of that. You're just not getting anything done.
Wow.
And so like Ramiro and I were just like, well, we may as well pick the place where we know the guy who owns it. We know he's a decent dude. He's been looking after us in this place.
Yeah.
Um, he will definitely look after us in the new place, so we may as well just up and move to that. Um, and it is slightly more expensive, but one, we'll get the bond back, and two, any repairs that need done will be done. And I think I was weighing up the cost, like for say 12 months at 200 ringgit a month is about what, 2,400 ringgit. That's
Yeah.
basically the difference in what the bond would be in the long run anyway. So we're
Mm.
basically just, either way we're paying the same amount,
Yeah.
or maybe slightly over where we are staying at the new place, but we're getting the peace of mind that goes with it. And and
And it has fiber optic.
well, I contacted the people today about that, and so they're saying there's the last place that tried to connect internet said it had issues at the line, or issues at the connection point, so you need to contact the internet provider. Sorry, the actual station that handles the installs. It's basically a shop you got
Yeah.
to walk into with your passport. They'll send a dude out to check your lines and your
Yeah.
points, and he should be able to determine from there. But what I have noticed is from that area, I'm pretty sure it is fiber optic in that area, and I'm pretty sure also just the 4G network is a lot stronger. Like you end up with a lot
Yeah.
less
Okay.
broken signal, 4G plus at 20 plus megabits per second, pretty constant. As
Oh, that'd be
opposed
good.
to this building here, which is like 200 occupants, one old copper wire handling all of the data.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so peak time during lockdown, everybody's on, everybody's streaming Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So you guys still locked down
oh yeah, yeah, they extended for another 4 weeks because our,
again?
yeah, our count
Again.
again,
Wow.
yeah, our count went up. So it was sitting around 7 to 800, and then it just started spiking 1,000, 1,200, 1,700 it got up to, and so they're just like, no, you're all locked down until well, partial lockdown. It's not
Wow.
lockdown, but it's still extended till the 6th of December. Um,
Oh, okay.
and
That's
this,
a fair way.
yeah, it's another 4 weeks. We got told that on
Yeah.
the, I think the 8th of November. So a few days ago only we
Oh,
got
okay.
told. So I'll continue teaching from home, and counselling from home, and the school won't open until after that date. And even then, I think the school holidays start on the 15th. So maybe the students come in for a week. I don't know, and then we go 3 weeks holiday plus.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, we're just basically waiting on Pfizer to pump out its vaccine.
Yeah, I mean that was a big announcement this week.
Yeah,
So
yeah. All right. Conspiracy theory, right? Conspiracy theory came out right after the election. Who owns Pfizer? That's what I want to know. It's the
yeah, but
Democrats.
see,
No, I have no idea.
no,
It's Bill Clinton. No.
I just hope they don't mix it. I just hope they don't. I just hope they don't mix it up with the Viagra.
I'll take it both. It's like, man, this cure is amazing.
No, no, if it, but if it was a conspiracy, they would announce it a week after Joe Biden's inauguration. So he would actually be president, and then he would like it
Yeah,
would
but
get
I
announced.
mean, look, if
Like
you
right,
he got in illegally, we know that, right? Trump's filing the lawsuits. I was watching a thing about that.
all the people say that I'm the winner, and there's lots of nasty stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching a thing today on that, his lawsuits thing. Is interesting. Like, there's lying on both sides of the road about that one. So it's yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
He
Trump,
should be gone.
Trump.
He should be gone.
Well, I mean, there is no. Okay, let's say there was some voter fraud, right?
Yeah.
Let's say some people decided that they were going to send in ballots from their dead relatives, and they might have accidentally got an extra ballot, or they might have stolen some ballots and
Yeah.
put some extra names in.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 40,000 votes worth. So the the most any election, like so when they recount it,
Mm.
the most any elections ever changed is 200 votes. So
Yeah.
there's literally there's literally like nothing is within that range. So it's absolutely ridiculous what's happening.
Yeah. Well, it is ridiculous for
It's
sure.
a
He's throwing a
yeah,
tantrum. Um, and
it's a tantrum, but it's a disturbing tantrum because currently what he's doing is he's still hiring and firing senior officials in the Pentagon, in the Department of Defense. Like he literally just let go a bunch of people and installed his own dudes in there. He's got the DOJ, the head of the DOJ bar. He's announcing investigations. Like
oh yeah, that's right.
it's like becoming like they're closing in on dictatorship. Like it's like as close as they can get to it. Um, like if they had the power, Trump would just tell them to take out some of the votes.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't even hesitate.
Oh, for
And
sure.
that's what's scary is the intention. It's like this his immediate intention is, oh well, I can't lose the election, it's impossible, so I'm just going to do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, this is the only time that a president has refused to concede when he's like obviously losing.
Um,
Like normally these
yeah.
things are done and dusted.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
then the
mean,
president just
that
sort of
that's because they're normally politicians. He's not a politician. He's like a
mm,
big baby businessman. He doesn't
well,
actually
that's true,
know what honor and all that.
but it's scary. That's the thing. It's like it's frightening because he is currently withholding funds from Biden, not letting him transition. He's not sharing intelligence, which he's required to do. Like once the next president comes in, they should immediately be given a transition team.
Yeah.
They should be communicating to all the heads of all of the parties and the Department of Justice, the Defense, the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Like he should be giving security clearances. It's like he should be getting briefings. But because Trump's installed all his cronies around him in those positions,
Right.
he's just like, no, don't let them have it. So basically, he's trying to set up a coup in like it's very crude, but
Yeah.
it's very it's very disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. What I was watching today about it is that he doesn't need to have proof that there is voter fraud. All he needs to do is provide enough evidence to cast doubt. And once there's
Yeah,
enough reasonable doubt, then he can go ahead with a lawsuit and start, pushing all the recounts on the like Pennsylvania and what are those large swing states or
yeah.
whatever they
Well,
are.
well, see, this is the only thing that's holding him back is there's votes that were cast,
Mm.
and they have to be. You can only recount them. That's all you can do.
Yeah,
And they're just going to show the same thing plus or minus 200 votes. Like, unless the Democrats actually had massive fraud, and in
yeah,
that case, they should be kicked out. But it's like he's only got that one thing, and that's the only thing that's holding him back. He's
sure.
currently trying to work his way around that.
Yeah,
He's trying
he's
to
trying to buy
find an
into it.
avenue where
Yeah,
where he can segregate the votes. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to go, oh, well, these votes don't count,
yeah,
so that makes me the winner. Like that's what he's trying to split the votes somehow,
yeah,
either through late votes or votes after a certain day didn't count, so you have to ignore those. Like that's what he's
yeah.
trying to get. He's trying to get some sort of legal justification for it.
Yeah, apparently there's a
Um,
whole bunch of votes that were counted through an automated system, like a machine,
yeah,
that it had a programming error put in, and so it was counting like again, I don't know how many. It was several thousand votes that were going in the wrong direction. One state
yeah. It
in
was
particular, yeah,
six
six
thousand.
thousand, yeah. So
Yeah.
one state got like complete swing from the Democrats to the Republicans, and
Yeah, but again, it's even that is in the margin of error for
yeah,
Biden's lead.
yeah, that's right.
It was about 6,000 votes
Yeah,
that they claimed. I haven't actually heard about it on any reputable source, but it could be because they're cutting that information out of the Democratic side of the news.
oh yeah,
That is always a possibility.
yeah.
But
Watch,
even that, even
yeah, America Uncovered has a pretty decent job of debunking both sides of the story, but just pushing. He's telling the point about what Trump's trying to do, not that it's right or wrong.
yeah,
It's just
so
yeah,
so basically, that's still within the margin of error for Biden to win.
yeah.
So
On that one state
even
only, or that one count only.
yeah, but that's all he needs to win. So it's like he only needs Pennsylvania,
Yeah, right.
and as long as he wins Pennsylvania, that's the end of the game.
Jesus.
And he's currently leading by like 46,000 votes or something.
Yeah.
So unless they can somehow roll back a bunch of other states, but
Well,
I
that's
don't know.
what part
Yeah,
of the machine thing. Like, look, they're grasping at straws. They are trying to dig every
yeah,
single little thing, and you're right. It's like the it, like the evidence that they have is anecdotal to some extent. They are trying to
yeah,
like bring out enough witnesses and so on to cast doubt
yeah.
to stall the process so that they can find another angle. But that's what they're trying to push ahead with, and so
Yeah,
like.
but at the end of the day, on the 20th of January,
Mm,
I think it's at noon, the new president is inaugurated. So they can't delay it past there. So they got no, there's no recourse to change the result after that.
Right.
But
Right.
you can't come back 6 months down the line and go, oh no, no, we found it. This is it.
Yeah,
You know,
that's probably
there
why
was
they're
that huge,
scrambling now to like, yeah.
yeah, and it's what the real danger for the Republicans is at the moment is because there's I don't know if you followed the Senate race much, but they're literally 48-48 at the moment.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so the two races that still haven't been called are both in Georgia, which is highly contested. Biden's currently winning the actual state,
Okay.
but the two Senate races, um, you have to get above 50% of the votes to win the race, and obviously have more of the votes,
Yeah.
because there was multiple people on the ticket. So there was like I think there was like 3 or 4 people on each ticket.
Oh,
So
okay.
they all got sort of 20s, 30s. The Republican guy got 49.7, and it's still not good enough. So he ends up they go into runoffs, which is going to happen in January,
Hmm.
and it's a new vote just in that state, just for those two Senate seats, and it's just between the top two
Oh,
of the
okay.
of the people on the
Right.
ticket. So no one else is allowed to follow,
Yeah.
and you just have those two.
Right, right.
Now,
So this was the
it
semi-finals. Now they're like pushing for the finals.
exactly, yeah. But now they're actually going to decide who controls the Senate. So if
Oh, right, because it's so balanced otherwise.
because it's 48
Yeah.
because it's 48-48. So if it goes one each and it's even,
Yeah.
um, the vice president is the tiebreaker.
Right.
And if the vice president's Democratic,
Yeah.
then the Democrats will control the Senate.
Right.
And if so, basically, the Republicans have to win both of those.
Right.
And what Trump is doing now, if he continues that and there is no evidence and there ends up being just all a big conspiracy theory,
Hmm.
well, a fake conspiracy theory, um, I think he's going to really hurt his chances, like his party's chances. Not that he cares about that if he loses. He wouldn't care
Yeah,
a
true.
hoot about the Republican Party, but I think he's going to do damage on the way out to them if it becomes him just wailing against the wall
Hmm.
and there's no evidence.
Yeah. Do you reckon like the Secret Service have just kind of hidden the big red button on his desk? Like, just don't tell him about that. Yeah, we'll just that's just for ordering coffee or whatever. But we'll always keep him
Well, he
supplied
actually
so he doesn't ever
they're
has to put it.
actually
Oh God, don't tell
when
me
was
there's
it?
a hidden big red button that he's like,
There's a bu
where's the button? Just pressing.
no no there's a button on his desk. I'm pretty sure this was early on in his presidency, so I don't know if it was true. It might have just been comedians, but I heard it multiple times
Oh God.
that he had a button installed to order Diet Coke. So he'd like press the button and a Diet Coke would come.
That's the bomb one, sir.
Yeah.
God, where's my Diet Coke? Who's
Yeah,
launching all them
so
missiles?
but I mean the fact that he literally installed a new guy in the head of the Pentagon that controls the nuclear football. So um,
What?
he just fired the dude, the main guy, the guy that had it, and
Yeah.
Trump just hired one of his cronies to hold the nuclear football, which for anyone who doesn't know is the launch codes for
Oh,
the nukes.
Jesus
So
Christ.
it's a little briefcase about the size of a football,
Yeah.
and there's a guy that follows Trump around with that in the briefcase, and it's like a remote enter the codes, You know, it's got all the nuclear codes in it. It's got all the buttons and stuff.
That
And
seems
yeah,
crazy.
it's insane. It's like, and the fact, like, why is he making appointments? Like, normally,
Yeah.
what normally happens is if there is a new president installed, the old president is like, this is like a caretaker mode. It's like, I'm just gonna like go read stories to children and,
Yeah.
tidy up and make sure like, it's not this like mad dash for power in the last 3 months after it's already been chosen. So it's just completely gross, basically what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's probably it's. I don't doubt it's all gone to his head, and he's thinking that even if he does get kicked out, he'll have everything so set up he can still run the country. I just hope Biden and was it Kamala, just like, all right,
yeah.
first order is to remove everyone he's appointed, and
Well, that's pretty much what they can do because it's a presidential appointment. They can just
yeah,
once Biden's the appointee, he will just
yeah, all right,
appoint
you're
all the
all gone.
people.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
But the damage they've done is that they've hired people, and
Oh yeah,
it just sort of runs downhill, decaying the institution. Like think about all the combined knowledge the FBI has in all the brains in the FBI. And then you take the head of the FBI and you put Trump's guy in, and he slowly gets rid of all the people. And with those people go the knowledge,
yeah,
like, the way things operate, the
yeah,
culture gets changed. It's like it's a very hard thing to put
yeah.
back together.
Yeah, I guess you just have to go back to the employee records from 6 months ago and just like, all right, whoever was working then, put them back in. Yeah. Except for the ones
Yeah,
that we've
well,
busted for treason or
yeah.
whatever they
Well,
get.
I mean, I
Like
honestly don't know like what they're going to do. So it's.
my
I think
other,
it's another case of.
yeah,
But I was just saying, I think it's another case of like the Democrats coming in after the Republican
yeah,
has blown everything up, and then
yeah,
spends their presidency cleaning it up.
yeah,
It's like this is
yeah,
exactly what happened to Obama.
yeah,
Like he just
exactly.
got.
Yeah, and they're gonna go into a recession as well because the economy is like
Yeah,
taking a huge hit. So he's just gonna be mopping up so many messes,
yeah.
and
There
it's
was.
just yeah. Because like I think Trump's thing was that like, look how good the economy has gotten now that I'm in
Mm,
power. But it's like, yeah, but Obama spent so long putting it all back
yeah,
together so that when you walked in, it was
exactly.
already running. It's like, of course it got
Yeah,
better. Yeah, but
yeah, exactly. And this is the fifth day in a row with over 100,000 cases a day
shit,
of COVID,
mm,
and
that's
they're
insane.
yeah, and they were saying there was a whole bunch of states where the hospitals were at like 98%,
Oh God,
and admissions to hospital were up like 58%, and it was just becoming like it's gonna be another Italy where they start having patients in the street and they're starting to go, how old are you? Do you have any pre-existing conditions? Well, you can go home because we can't look after you. We're going to look after the fit 30-year-old guy who has a better chance.
yeah, yeah.
And
They just direct you to the mass grave on the side. Just pick somewhere in there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. We'll have someone with a cart come round soon and collect your
yeah.
body.
Just stand at the edge. Someone will push you.
Yeah, I'm not dead yet.
I'm getting better. uh, um,
But yeah,
yeah. Well, I mean, fun times to watch. Um,
yeah,
well, I mean, I think for this whole Corona thing, I'm so glad that like Pfizer made the announcement, regardless of the fact that it's a conspiracy theory. I know,
yeah,
that
yeah,
it's just
totally.
but they're talking about like what 30 to 50 million vaccines created before the end of this year, and then another
Yeah,
1.3 billion they're looking to roll out next year.
yeah,
So I figure I don't need to get vaccinated. I just need to make sure everyone around me is, so that I can't catch because
you
vaccines are it's Bill Gates or whatever.
I will literally be pushing in line to try and be the first one.
Oh, yeah, because you want to be controlled
It's
like a robot. Yeah.
yeah. I want to not have to like flinch every time someone sneezes.
My main thing that I heard is that getting back into Australia is a 3,000 Aussie dollar expense. You got to spend 3 grand to spend
Wow.
2 weeks in quarantine where they serve you old airline food, basically.
You'll be in Darwin though.
What do you mean?
It's
Have you
all the
seen the future? I don't want to go back, man.
you'll
I
be
don't want to
in
go back.
Darwin.
I
Even better,
actually,
you'll be in Howard Springs.
all right. I actually applied for a job in Darwin, so
Oh really?
mm,
Oh, I hope you get it.
yeah.
Yeah, but that,
I
oh,
mean,
then we
there.
can do the,
I
then we
know.
can do this around the table. Like
Yeah.
it'd be
I'll say
awesome.
something. You'll wait 20 seconds, then
Yeah.
answer me, just to try and keep the theme. No,
Yeah, every so often I'll just. But anyway, yeah, all the arrivals are coming in through Darwin. So
oh,
we've got a big facility. I think it's like an 800 person camp from one of the gas mines
what's that
that
one
got
called?
built here.
Christmas Island? Is it that one?
No, Howard Springs.
Oh,
Christmas Island is Christmas.
that's the facility. You'll be there for
Yeah,
18 to 24
yeah,
months.
yeah, and then deported back to your country.
Yeah,
No, no, this is like they're calling it the resort or something now. It's like basically it's just like a massive mining camp set up by can't remember the name of the gas plant that built it, but it basically made Darwin boom,
oh yeah.
and then they
Alinta?
finished building it, and then they're like, "See ya. Do you want?" No, it was what was the name of the mining company, babe? No, the gas company. Sorry. I can't remember. Anyway, the should remember seeing as it made everything boom. But anyway,
Sorry.
they left this 800 person they left this 800 person facility, and the government had no clue what to do with it. And they've been paying money to maintain it, and so they've been trying to find uses for it.
Oh God.
And then literally as as this was becoming a problem, the COVID hit, and they're like, "Woo!" So they
Oh,
just made a deal with the federal government to take in all of the people and hold them there for 2 weeks for their quarantine.
great. So they gotta like scare away all the crocodiles and the pigs, the
No,
wild pigs, and then like
yeah,
it's like yeah, we don't even lock the doors. They're not getting anywhere if they try
yeah,
and
yeah.
get out. It's yeah,
I mean, it is natural selection, so it's like if you really want to be in Australia,
yeah.
that's where you have to go through
That's
that.
right. Uh, um. Well, yeah. I mean,
But yeah, that's literally like they've been getting plane loads of people.
right. Well, I kind of want to avoid that. Um. So if I mean,
Yeah,
it's unlikely I'll get that job. It's just I'm just more like testing the waters to see what it's like. Um. But
yeah,
like I need to get back into Australia at some point, but I don't think it's like I've got my contract to finish up till in June or July or whenever it is here, so it'll probably be after that. But I don't want to have to spend like 3,000 Aussie dollars because that's about 10,000 ringgit here, and I'm like earning it about the
yeah.
same.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and if Ramira has to go through the same thing, that's like, where do all my savings go? Um,
Yeah, no, exactly. And then they've got then you've got the 2 weeks basically of sitting there.
yeah, I mean that's easy enough. I can do that. It's,
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're thinking of sitting there with a computer and hanging out and like
no. I
this
just
is more like yeah, you're in a room.
yeah, no. I've done a 2 week meditation retreat.
Hmm.
um, Yeah, it's doable. It's not fun, but it is doable. You just
No.
kind of like prepare
Yeah.
yourself mentally for it. Ramir's been reading up on like basically people are putting together survival kits for this sort of thing. So it's like
Oh, okay.
make
That's a good
sure you
idea.
have a knife in case they send you fruit. Make sure you have dried foods like muesli bars and stuff because you probably won't get quite enough food or decent food to eat. Make sure you have like here's ways that you
Mm.
can heat your food using a kettle or an iron. Here's what, and it's just like all these, yeah, basically learning how to survive in prison. Um, and
Yeah.
I,
Toilet wine.
yeah, that's right. Find the toughest guy in the yard, shank him. Um, no, we. That's right. Just like, just goes take food off their plate and spit on the rest of it. Um, but I mean, it's sounding a bit ridiculous because first of all, the people coming back in are Australians, and so like, why are you punishing them? Secondly, what are you doing punishing people anyway that are coming back into the country? If it's only a sickness they've got. They're not like hardened criminals or anything. So why can't you let them have food delivered to them? Why can't you have, if they're supporting friends and family around, bring groceries and stuff in? Like, how is that a problem? You're not directly contacting them. You just have a drop-off point, and then they
Well, they
leave.
were doing that.
Okay, that's good. All right, that's
They
pretty
were
good.
doing that. And then I think that's how Melbourne got exploded a second time.
What?
Because the guards started doing the female people.
Oh
They
yeah.
were doing sex for favors, like food and stuff like that. It
Jesus.
was, it was, yeah. It literally turned into like a prison, you know. So it's
Okay,
like it,
if you've got that tendency in people to have happen and you know it's happened, then you make sure you bring in another organization that watches your guards. And it's just like, yeah, okay, it's probably still going
yeah,
to happen, but it'll be a much lesser
yeah. I
extent.
mean, it's yeah. The main thing is, I think the Darwin facility is much better actually than the ones down south. Because the
Okay,
ones down south were sort of were run by hotels.
yeah, right.
So it was like the hotels were giving their space, and then whereas this is like a giant mining camp, and the government's running it. So
Right, yeah,
I'm assuming the food will be better, and it'll be, you know, you're basically in a donga. You're not
yeah,
in a hotel room
yeah,
stacked on top of each other.
yeah.
You
Have it.
can go outside.
Yeah.
You know, you're like,
Oh, you can.
yeah, there's a pool. There's like, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. I mean, I still don't want to
Because I
spend the
think
three
that I think
thousand
it's in a
bucks.
perimeter. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I think it's like a perimeter fence, and like you know you'll have exercise time and stuff like that
You got yard time. Don't waste
where
it.
you get to do.
Um, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, I think that's what happens when you let anybody do
Mm.
anything in Australia that's privatized. It just goes bananas. It's just people are just too dodgy. But if you like government run it, it's slow, it's clunky, but it
Yeah.
kind of works. Um, Alright, let me just put this down. I think it's
Well,
another
they were trying to min max it.
minimum security, maximum
Like
security.
they were just trying to get minimum security, maximum profits,
Oh, right.
and you know they were just hiring. They were hiring like random people, like you know backpackers and stuff, as the security guards, and it was just the training was like a couple of days or something ridiculous. Because obviously it was like a security company got the contract and then had to hire a bunch of people.
Right.
It wasn't like they had heavily trained people ready
Yeah.
to do this.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah,
Right. Yeah. Well.
it's just typical government stuff where they're like,
Yeah. Outsourcing it and doing a bad job of it. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, it's like we're going to pick one person randomly out of a hat.
yeah,
You have the contract now.
yeah, yeah, great. Well, I mean, yeah. So we're hopefully anyway, bringing it all back around. The vaccine is out and available. This whole COVID mess is over, and we can just sail back into the country at some point without all of that taking place. It's just like, yeah, we had the vaccination. Here's my shots, the certificate for
Yeah,
my shots. Let's go back in. It's like a 90, was it like a 98% or something immunity rate?
90. Yeah,
90%.
90.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
that's enough to get your herd immunity.
Yeah,
So I think you need 70% or something like that to get herd immunity.
right.
So that's plenty over that.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the rate America's going, they won't have it in time anyway. If they're getting a million extra people every 10 days that they're able to
And even
check.
if they and even if they get it, all the Trump supporters won't take the vaccine. So
That's 50% of the
it'll
country.
literally it'll literally be like there'll be pockets of people, and the problem with the see that then you're going to get 1 in 10 people with that had the vaccine get it because there's not going to be enough herd immunity to make up for that 1 in 10 because that's how it works. So it's like if everyone has it and there's only a 10% of the population that is susceptible still, the virus no longer has a pathway to propagate
Right.
because you would have to have 100 people in a room, 10 of those are susceptible. They would have to be within a certain area of each other. One of them would have to have it, and then it would go to the next person,
Yeah.
and then that person would go somewhere, and who are they going to spread it to? It's like it dampens down the spread because only 1 in 10 people are susceptible still.
Yeah.
But if you have 50 or 60% people susceptible, 40% of the population isn't going to get it, and then the rest of them are all going to get it, and then it'll be 10% of the people that took the vaccine will get it as well. So yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's that's stupid on them. I saw that Canada is looking to try and get, what is it, like 1.3 million people immigrating into their country over the next few years or something, because their
Wow.
aging population rate is going to be something like 2 to 1. So
Yeah, I think,
their older generations are going to be outnumbering the younger ones. So
yeah, well, we were talking about this.
yeah,
So,
I think either I'll go to Australia or try Canada and see if I can go there.
yeah.
Because I think
I
countries
thought you
like,
were going to say Canada was.
huh? No.
I thought you were going to say Canada was trying to cut itself away from America, but yeah.
They're probably just going to end up with all the normal Americans moving up there, or at least the ones that want to have a vaccine that works and people that take it. Because yeah, probably Australia. Well, most of the rest of the world will
Yeah.
most likely use it. Um, Man, Pfizer is going to be so
Well,
rich.
oh man, they're going to be heroes.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it's crazy, man.
yeah,
It's interesting that one discovery can change everything because they it just boomed the stock market
oh yeah,
and
yeah. You
it tanked oil,
you
it
imagine they
tanked the
would have,
American dollar.
oh, jeez, you imagine they would have invested a stack of money to get this cure up and running. But
Oh yeah, but it was whoever. I think it was like a winners take all sort of thing. So there's all these people racing to get it,
yeah,
and then the first one is like me, and then
yeah,
hopefully the second guy is not too far behind because then he
yeah,
can get some of it.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's right.
it's there was a couple early leads that we thought were gonna work, but they ended up having adverse reactions.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Well, you can't rush it.
Mm. No, no,
Um,
you don't want to. Yeah.
yeah, so it's yeah. But I mean, how much do you reckon they're going to charge for each shot? $100?
I don't know because I'm in Australia and it'll be free.
Well, yeah.
Socialized medicine.
Yeah. Don't worry, communist China will fix that for you. So,
Yeah.
um,
I'm assuming, yeah, it can't be too much because obviously you're not going to be able to. People just won't take it.
yeah, yeah, because you want that thing worldwide, basically. So, um, yeah, they'll be charging it at a
Yeah.
rate that can actually
So
get
it'll be
there.
like it'll be, yeah, it'll be priced per country. I'm assuming with the richer countries paying more, so they can charge less for the poorer countries.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because what happens is like I mean that almost sounds like socialism. But anyway,
Mm,
that what happens is a lot of the poor countries, um, as soon as they get some of it, they just copy it,
mm,
um, and make their generic brands of all these medicines.
yeah,
So you might end up with a generic Malay, might taste like satay sauce or something,
yeah.
and
It'll
they
get sold to
inject
us
it.
last though, so that the
Well, you never know.
other Pfizer can make its money first. I mean, either
Yeah,
way,
because
like
that
if I turn up to Australia and they're saying, yeah, you don't have to quarantine, but you do have to have the shot here. I'm like, yeah,
yeah, done.
stab me, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah,
Um,
it's pretty awesome.
yeah, it'll be good. It's more that it's just more that I think I'm looking forward to this whole thing being over because we're still in lockdown. It's been since well, like March, something like that,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
just
crazy,
been
dude.
on off lockdown this whole time. I'm like talking to the students, and they're like, "Yeah, I can survive it, but I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it."
Mm,
I'm just like, "Yep, I get it. It's you. It's everybody else.
yeah,
We're looking for inventive ways to like, I don't know, get people connected. Because even though we are able to connect pretty well on the internet, it still kind of sucks. It really still kind of sucks because if you've got like 30 people trying to connect to a group thing at once, there is absolutely no way you can have chit chats going on.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. You can't break it up into smaller groups
no,
very easily.
they should develop an app, for like social parties, so you can just have like the main group, and then you just like select someone, and then you can just video group with them.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though, because it's like in a party or in a group of people,
Yeah,
that happens naturally. It's like people sort of gravitate,
yeah,
then the conversation dies, people go get drinks or something, people walk around,
yeah,
then they bump into someone else. Whereas to artificially like, okay, now I'm going over here to talk to this person.
yeah.
Like it's not a yeah.
Man, VR at this
It's a very
time
poor
would have done so well. If it had the tech ready,
exactly.
all you would have
We're just
needed
lucky
is
we're
a
just lucky we
room.
had the internet.
Yeah, well,
Imagine
yeah.
imagine if there was.
You know what would have
I think we're
happened
talking
though?
over each other because there's a bit of lag.
Yeah, there's a bit of that. You know what would have happened if we didn't have the internet? We'd get the next like Tesla dudes that have just been all these people that are just stuck at home, and it's like I got nothing to do, no one to talk to. I'm just gonna start inventing stuff, and then next thing, gravity drive, gravitational propulsion engines.
Yeah,
Pretty sure. Yeah,
that's true. You would have a lot of inventiveness,
yeah.
but you also would have had a lot of
Murder suicide.
spousal abuse and
I
suicide.
already getting that.
Yeah.
It's just like what the creative types are doing with their hello puppy. What the creative types are doing with their energy is TikTok videos, and those are okay. I'm doing them. I'm making TikTok videos. What do I want to say? But they're
I remember you telling me already.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've been like
What's your handle?
I don't know, actually. I think I've
Uh,
got about 6 or 7 draft videos saved at the moment. And what I'm doing is I'm just scrolling through other people that are using similar hashtags to what I want to use and then seeing what they're doing. And most of them are doing this. They're like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and like words are popping up, and then they put a tune at the background to it, and so it's just like and they're just pointing up, and it's saying like you should eat more fiber so that your poop will go well or whatever, and it's in about maybe 15 seconds. Yeah, you get about 15 second, 8 to 15 second hit of that, and then next video. And so like I'm just basically all I'm doing is writing out 4 or 5 points on any topic that I want to talk about, and then I'm just doing this 5 times, and that's my video. But you gotta like learn to smile, like
wow,
Ajahn Brahm's 2 finger happiness technique, where he's just like well, kind of thing. Uh, Doing all those little kind of actions just to make myself seem more interactive,
yeah.
because when I'm talking to
Seem
someone,
seem more
see more.
seem more interactive.
Oh, but
I'm not actually more interactive.
no, oh god. The
Yeah,
thing is, right, when I'm talking to someone, my voice modulates, and I'm using actions and so on,
yeah,
facial expressions. When I'm on the camera, I'm just like, all right, here's a whole bunch of information. You really need to learn how to sleep at better times than you get. And I'm just like, I'm looking at me doing this. I'm like, who is this
yeah,
psychopath scroll? And I want to like get rid of me. And I don't know what that
yeah,
difference is. And so I'm like, I'm actually having to train myself and learning to treat the camera like a person. And
yeah.
that's just hard to do for some reason.
Yeah, I
Um,
really wish we had. I really wish we had cameras with the D&D game, because like while I'm talking to you guys, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like going. I'm like, and then over there, and then this, and like, and going, and then you're walking through, and the thing's creeping up, and it's like, and I'm doing this on the couch. Like, I wish I had like a camera to put up so you guys could at least just see me.
can't
So
you
it would.
can't you video broadcast yourself? We can see that. And
Oh, I know, but I don't have a camera on my computer on my PC.
oh,
So
right.
I
So yeah. Hey, something. Speaking of D and I wanted to just see if I can show. This is
oh wow.
Ramira bought me birthday present. These are solid steel, so it's got like weight to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've seen those. Those that's so cool, and they're gold. That's awesome.
yeah. They're a very
Wow,
nice set. Um,
that's awesome.
but but my first game of D&D, this thing was just like that I was using. This was just rolling like a 5 and a 3 and a 3 and an 8. I was just like, ah! So I'm like trying to summon the gods of what is it, the random number generators, and I'm using my left hand instead of my right hand to roll the dice, and I'm like trying to trick and alternate it. So I'm getting a lot more 18s and 15s consistently out of it. So all I need to do is spill some blood on it on a full moon,
Yep.
consecrate it properly, and then boom.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about these is that like if we actually gather somewhere and play D&D, I can just roll this and smash all the other dice out of the way, and it will always get its solid roll in. But it's got a weight to it, which is really cool. Um,
You got the like king die.
yeah, they're very nice set, that one. I must admit, I was very happy with that
That's
purchase, or
cool.
with that present. Um, I haven't rolled a 20 on it
Yeah,
yet.
that is awesome.
Once I can break that in game, that would be great. Um, but not quite
Pretty awesome, man.
yet.
Like,
Yeah. Well, I needed to get new
can you
dice.
believe D&D's been around for like?
Huh, how long?
Well, I was just gonna say I can't believe D&D's been around for 40 years. No, longer than that. Nearly 50 years. And no, no.
100 years.
No, it was 79 or something, I think it was. No, I think it was 79, so about
Okay,
40 years.
so about 40 years.
Um, and they're only just bringing out metal dice.
Yeah. Surely that's been done before. I haven't seen them around though, I must admit. But yeah, I needed to get new
Yeah,
dice
I only
because.
saw them like recently.
All right. Yeah, I needed a new set because my character had been a necromancer, and so I'd gotten specific dice for like necromancer. They were like, dark and whatever, like black dice with red streaks and whatever. But then he changed to a cleric, and so the dice just didn't work so well anymore. And I'm pretty sure we're on a terrible lag spike, so it's just my story going. Yep, yep.
Ah, so you got necromantic themed dice.
They were, yeah. But now, I picked up some like cleric. I feel like they're a bit more like a cleric
Oh,
style
that's cool.
dice.
Yeah.
Plus the steel dice, which you know they win everything. I was gonna say
Yeah.
steel
I
dice trump everything, but then I didn't want to use the word trump. That's the world we're living in now, Simon. uh,
I've taken another word from it.
Damn you!
Yeah, I still have the same dice from when I was a kid. Like I literally just kept using the same dice.
I have a couple from that time, but I don't know where most of them went. I think I left them all with like Brian or whatever. I don't know where they've gone.
Mm,
Or I've given
okay.
them away
Yeah,
to
I've
other
literally got
friends. Yeah.
I've got a clear set of red dice and a clear set of clear dice with black numbers.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. That's all I've ever had.
Right. Well, you gotta break in
And
some
then
new ones, Simon.
yeah, I mean it's kind of hard over the internet.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
there is
like
that.
I'd be super stoked if we were playing in person. I'd be like, yeah, let's get some cool dice and like have some fun. But over the internet's kind of taken away the thrill of rolling dice, unfortunately.
Yeah, unless we have like two cameras, and you know how when you're
Mm,
say streaming a game or whatever, and your little profile appears in the top corner and whatever, you could just like
yeah,
have a second camera on your dice rolling platform and then just sitting there throwing the die in
that'd be
there.
cool. Did you see the Kickstarter that I sent on the Discord?
No, I haven't looked at Discord much lately. Why? What'd you send?
Oh, it's just cool Kickstarter for a D&D platforming, well, not platforming, but a D&D platform for people to play. It's
Ah,
meant for any RPG, but I think they've just closed the Kickstarter, so this isn't an ad, but it's basically like 3D miniatures. So they've like they look like rendered miniatures from like real life,
yeah.
and all the like buildings and stuff look like that. They're all lit like that. It looks like real life, and when you roll the dice, they bounce along in between the characters and stuff.
Oh, okay, nice.
And um, yeah, it looks just absolutely awesome. So it's in
That's very cool.
early access. I think it's in early access at the moment.
Yeah.
And like all the characters have like bases on them, and you like move them around, and as they walk in through a door, the next room becomes
Oh,
real. So it's like it's got like
nice.
a fog of war sort of thing,
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
and it looks so cool. And
Yeah.
the building of rooms looks really easy. It's like Lego. Um, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's built as a sort of canvas, and then you can add rules in. So
Yeah.
it,
Okay. That would be awesome. I look, lockdown has been so good for D&D, or
yeah,
like
man,
virtual
it's
sort of gaming thing. The funny thing is too, is that it's a step down in tech with the step up in tech. It's like it's made us be able
yeah,
to play our tabletop games again. And the thing is
no,
like
totally,
people are consistently playing it. That's the thing I'm noticing is like each of the groups that I'm in, no one's quitting. Um, like
yeah,
even the one that I'm running, we're constantly set back with people being away for work, on holidays or whatnot, but they're still like, we can make it not this week, but we'll try and like see if we can find a good internet connection when we're away on holiday
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, cool, that'd be great.
It's like our party has not missed a single week that we haven't had to.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
People are making time for it. Yeah. Um, and yeah, it's. But
yeah,
in saying that, I was thinking like because of the way the actual gaming systems work, you do want a little bit more of that interactivity side of it, and so like I was almost thinking about having it set up in a real basic platform of Minecraft, where like I just host a server. You can have one of those a realm set up where the whole land is just flat, and so all I do is I just build the
yeah,
dungeons in that, and then as the player I like describe the stuff that goes on in each room. And so if you want to like run around and look at stuff and whatever you can, but you kind of are limited to where you can go. So if you want to be start in one room, I just keep you there, and then I just as the main controller, I would just open the next room and you can go in, but I'd describe what's happening in the room, so at least you're there and seeing it, because that
yeah.
visualization part it helps a bit. Like you can describe it in the scenes and so on, but the reality is even when you're tabletop gaming, we generally have maps down and figurines that we move around, and just something that
Yeah.
helps to visualize. Because
But it's also, I think the problem is it's turn-based combat, so
yeah,
it's hard to mimic that,
yep,
and it's also hard to not. Also hard to stop people from just wandering
yep,
if they're in a game. So it's like if you're going overland, traveling somewhere,
yeah.
like Minecraft doesn't really mimic
Oh,
how hard it is to walk across terrain and stuff,
no, no,
So
it wouldn't be about the
yeah,
travel. It'd
yeah,
just be like dungeon crawling. So I'd just literally just have a
yeah,
room set up, and it's
or
just like there's
encounters.
table, there's chair, whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, I stand over by this thing. Oh, okay, yep, and it helps you visualize. But yeah, if they can come up with a better system, by all means, I would definitely use that.
Ha- Have a look at that. Have a look at the reels they've got, like the show reels that they have
Yeah,
on their Kickstarter. Looks absolutely. I mean, don't do it now, obviously, but
yeah,
go have a
yeah.
look at it. Looks
Hold on, I'll look.
absolutely phenomenal. I
Um, what's it called?
can't remember.
Okay.
Look up on the Discord. Just scroll back on the cool stuff on
Oh
the
yeah,
cool stuff tab,
yeah.
and it'll be there. There's like maybe 10 or 15 above that.
All right.
Um, well, I guess we should end because this seems like never-ending lag.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
sorry guys, we'll get better as Kris gets better internet
yeah.
or
So we're
moves
looking to,
back to Australia.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if I end up in Darwin, then we can do that. How long are you guys gonna stay there for?
Yeah, I mean Sophia's in school, so
So another 10 years.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Well, I don't know where we'll end up going. Like I said, I did apply for a job there, so if that happens,
mm.
then we'll probably end up there. But my main thing is I need
No,
to do,
anywhere in Australia.
yeah, anywhere in Australia is good. But my main thing is I want to get my studies on, like I want to finish my master's degree and that
Mm.
sort of stuff. So I don't know if Darwin actually offers that. So I need to look into
Yeah,
it.
that's cool.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, the end of this month. So we're pretty much
Cool.
getting the keys to the place in about 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go visit the internet people, probably
Yeah,
this week, if not this week, early next week, and see if they can get the connections up and running, see what speeds we can get offered and so on. Because my plan is for a fiber optic high speed, but we just don't actually have the facility for it here. But that's the only plan I could get with
yeah.
unlimited internet access, and that's kind of the amount we chew up. We kind of needed that. So,
So yeah, definitely.
mm.
So
So
let's finish with the D&D wrap up
oh yeah,
because
the
we
D&D.
actually played last week.
Yes, that's true. Um,
What do you
so,
think?
so all right. let me try and remember because I've been
So
thinking
you
about
went in.
my game since then.
You
We
went
went.
into the city of the dead.
Oh yeah, that sucked.
That was
it's,
awesome.
it's like mine is the only character that will actually have an impact if he gets aged. The rest is like,
Yeah,
yeah, I lived for 1,000 years, so 20 years is not a big deal. But
yeah.
my guy's like, there's half my life gone. Yeah, so well, it's more like there's half my life gone.
So you're you're now 50.
Yeah. Back when I was younger, we had a lot of fighting. Now it's just supper and Wheel of Fortune. um, yeah. No, I think. Oh, is it,
Wasn't that yesterday?
who are you
But
people?
yeah. So
Um,
anyway,
yeah.
then you guys went into the crypt,
Yes.
and you guys did a very good job once again of navigating through things.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, like the team seems to just work with each other. Anytime anyone wants to do something, no one's sneaking ahead. No one's running off and
Yeah,
exploring anything. Everyone's like, I'll help you in that, so you get assistance, so you
yeah,
can get advantage on the check and everything. So yeah, and plus experienced gamers, so they're all like, we're looking for traps, we're looking for tracks,
yeah.
we're testing every surface. Yeah. Except of course Drut, who ran into the room and fell into the pit trap.
That was
Yeah.
yeah. I was super disappointed. No one touched the sarcophagus. That was super bummed me out.
Yeah.
You nearly did, and I was about to be like, oh, but nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. I think the squad or the team has gotten to the point where we're just like not touching most things. Um, which I guess
yeah,
in game setup is like, it's a bit. But as far as players go, it's like I've invested a lot of time into this character. I want them to live. So dungeon crawling
yeah,
is dangerous as all
yeah,
get out until we're like, 9 or 10th level, and we're actually, yeah, we can take a few hits. We should be able to handle most things. At the moment, like we're fighting pretty
yeah.
big
Well, I'm
demons.
slowly ramping up the difficulties of the dungeons.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, we've fought some pretty big demons, but we haven't like it there's nothing that feels like a classically huge victory. It's not like, oh, they've slain the dragon and all that sort of stuff. It's like we did kick some pretty big demons' butts though. Um,
Yeah,
and that's definitely, yeah, but it
yeah.
I don't know, the dice have been in our
That's by
favor.
design because
Yeah,
I mean, but I mean that hasn't been, but it's these are meant to be feel like small skirmishes.
right.
So you're sort of, you're racing to the thing. You're trying to you're getting there. You're trying to like disrupt an action,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's sort of what it's meant to be.
yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really thrown any puzzles or anything like that at you guys yet.
No,
Sort of
nothing.
let you guys. I'm trying to get everyone used to sort of because I'm trying to what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get everyone sort of used to working in the system, and then once you guys start like this whole thing is like you guys are finally starting to become a unit,
Yeah,
and so now it's going to be it's going to work much better. It's going to be a lot easier for me now
yeah,
to create things that are tailored to the group.
yeah. Although they don't quite yet know how to handle the
Because
fact
before it
that,
was very much like me reacting.
oh, yeah, yeah, no, they don't quite know how to handle the fact that my character has a phobia of ghosts and the undead, and it's just like, get out of there! Just runs down the corridor, and I'm like, get
What?
back
Yeah.
here!
Well, I mean, the thing is, everyone's been playing so long. Everyone's metagaming,
Yeah,
so it's like it's very hard to
yeah,
like once you've played like a billion hours of computer games and
yeah,
role playing games and tabletop games and stuff. you kind of your brain just goes into metagame. You
Yeah,
know, it's like
yeah, your stats and strats your way
these
through
things are
it.
normally dangerous, so I wouldn't. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to get everyone out of that, but it's very, very hard.
Yeah, I think the only things that I've seen that really help push that along is when you integrate character backstories into the actual game storyline, because then each player
Yeah,
has a vested interest into doing something that's like it kind of puts you outside of your metagaming role, because it's like, yeah, I know I probably will die in there, but because my character has like his background is that his entire family is has trapped there, or like he needs to save whatever from needs to save them from some sort of attack. I'm going to basically need to stop doing this and put myself into that line of danger and hope that I can survive through that. Um,
yeah. It's what Critical Role did very well.
yeah, right.
Like they created backstories for everything, and then so everything that their characters are doing feels very natural in terms of trying to extend themselves this way or
Yeah,
extend themselves that way.
yeah,
And they've all got competing goals, so they're trying to each they're working as a group, but everyone
yeah,
wants to do their thing,
yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
And so
So
it's like which person takes priority.
yeah, and that's what I did in the group that I'd been playing as a character, like the necromancer guy. We ran with backstories, and yeah, some people's backstory, it's just like we're gonna not chase down that giant that we're chasing at the moment, because we really need to go take care of this person who's got a disease that's part of their clan or whatever, and it needs to be fixed. And so that was good. And then in my current game, um, I've what I've done is dream sequences basically. So that's the way I push it forward. Is certain times during the game, each of them gets a dream from their backstory, which is like brings whatever's happened in their past to the present moment. So, for example,
Yeah,
one of the characters like saved their village, and so they're a peasant hero is their backstory. Um, but now the dream sequence is showing that village that where they were a hero is getting attacked because there's a war going on and the whole place is being burnt, and we're not sure where the survivors are, that sort of thing. But at the same time, one of the other characters is getting a dream from the fact that they're like, what is it, some dragon that did something to them, and they ended up with magic powers, and so now they're a sorcerer. That like has appeared in their dream, and something's happening, and they're happening in near vicinity, but they're in sort of opposite directions. And so it's like, whose one do we chase first? Is there going to be a time limit? What will be the consequences if we don't get this resolved now? But alongside that, there's also the main quest that they're doing and the main storyline that's with that. And so
yeah,
it's like they're just I'm trying to make them make the hero's choice stuff each
yeah,
time they encounter something. However, there's like one player in particular who hasn't invested in a backstory at all. It's just like, yeah, it's just wandering around, and he got drunk one night and now he's doing this, and I'm just like, and then your dream starts, and there's this loading screen going TBA, TBA, get more backstory, and that just plays on repeat for a while.
yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully he's
Yeah,
done something on that, and yeah, I can actually introduce some sort of a storyline for them, because like he's a pretty good role player. He actually brings out a fair bit of content of his character, but he just doesn't have the backstory to drive it further. So yeah, hopefully we can get them playing that. But it does introduce a better side to it. So like my fighter, even though he's big and strong and most likely would be the best person to take on the giant skeleton that appeared in the room that we were fighting, instead he turned and ran down the corridor and basically told everyone to save themselves, because he's got the phobia in place. So there's that. Uh, mm,
yeah. No, that I think yeah, we'll be getting somewhere. I keep overestimating how much you guys are going to do each episode.
yeah.
So I would say there is. 6 episodes left for this arc.
Okay.
Is my guess. Is my guess.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
yeah.
you're
Okay.
gonna,
Yeah.
and then you finally get set free to do like,
Actual our own storyline gaming stuff.
yeah. Well, like I said, this was meant to be like a month and a half arc. Um, but the whole beginning part was just such a schmozzle. Um, Mainly because I was too ambitious and
Ah,
everyone was too new to the system and we hadn't played for ages.
yeah.
So it kind of devolved into loot and grab and um, yeah, it was very much like I'm just gonna steal everything and we're just gonna smash everything and there's gonna be no consequences. And it was very hard for me not to just
Slap
like
us.
well, it was all, but it wasn't so much that. It was also like what would actually happen,
Yeah.
and that was like, it was like, oh, you guys would all go to jail. Like, so
Yeah.
you guys would all be attacked and then you would be cuffed and stuck in jail.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah, you should have
yeah,
just like had people arrested in front of us and then beheaded in the street.
mm,
That would have.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of like, but at the same time, I didn't want people just to leave because like their character got killed in the first 2 episodes.
Oh,
So it
yeah,
was
no,
like,
I don't mean the main party.
yeah,
It's just like, you know,
yeah,
we befriend some other people, they get caught stealing, and it's
yeah,
just like, you know what the punishment is, bam in the stock,
yeah,
whoosh, and then the rest of us are like,
yeah.
okay, that was a close
Yeah.
one. Let's not do that anymore.
Yeah, I also wanted you guys to have freedom. Like I don't
Yeah,
like that. That's the one key thing D&D has over
yeah,
any other game is freedom.
yeah, for sure.
So you have to feel that. You have to feel the every time I push against the boundary, trying to get a reaction, there should be no reaction because it's D&D.
Yeah,
It's like there should never be the DM going, you did that thing, that's it. It should never be like that. It should always be like,
yeah. Let's
oh, I
roll
do
with it.
this. Okay, let's try and salvage this. Like it should be that's how I always think D&D should be. It shouldn't be like this.
Yeah,
You have to follow my storyline. No, it doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Like otherwise you're just watching a TV show.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it's
I mean, you can
it's
incentivize it and then get people invested in it, but
yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's what I felt I tried.
oh,
And
that definitely worked. No,
that's why I feel
yeah,
like everyone's
that's why
like
we're
there
sticking
was,
around.
yeah, and there's no more hesitation like in terms of like you guys are like, and then the next spot's over there, let's go. It's like it's no, I don't have to be like,
Yeah,
please can we go, I don't have to try and like
yeah,
somehow make you guys end up somewhere. It's
yeah.
like you guys,
We're working it out and doing it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So and then I think there's going to be a good payoff. So thematically, not in terms of
well,
coin, but
well, I mean, my character's just in it to like win his parents' respect back, so that he can eventually like get welcomed
yeah.
back into his clan.
Well, you're now 50, so yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, we're gonna.
Hey, you might have to try and find some sort of fountain of youth.
No, I should incorporate that into the character and just try and be an old German sounding guy. Like how does Arnold Schwarzenegger sound now?
He's got lots of Twitter stuff that he does now.
All right. Yeah, I should go look up him and see what he sounds like
Yeah,
and copy that accent if I can. 'Cause- yeah, but no, definitely like the freedom side of it. It was a good way to start. We were floundering, but we were also like we were taking control of fixing up our messes as well. It was just
yeah,
like, all right, we've got ourselves into this mess. Oh God, we're making it slightly worse. All right. Now there's wanted posters. Let's do something and sort this out. And that kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
it made us gel as a group because we were all wanted criminals together. We all broke out of prison together,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
and yeah, and then we like slowly starting to turn our reputation around a little bit. I mean,
Yeah,
no one really knows who we are still yet, but we're
you
getting
haven't
there
even
slowly.
come up with a proper name yet.
A party name.
Yeah, what, fire starters or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've stopped burning everything we've come across, so that's
It is a positive.
yeah. Um, the hit and runs. No, I don't know. Because we're hitting a
But
lot, yeah, and
yeah,
running, so running to adventure. Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's true.
And the
Oh,
other thing
mm,
the other thing I wanted was to give you guys heaps of gold at the beginning.
yeah,
Like you know how you got like thousands of gold.
yeah.
I wanted to see what you guys would do.
We just got shiny armor. That's
Yeah.
shiny
The
weapons.
the gnome tried to buy a house. He's like, I'm settling down. That's
Yeah,
it.
I'm rich. That's what I wanted. Should have let him have it and then just
Yeah.
watch it collapse into the lava as a gateway appeared underneath it.
Yeah. You bought the gateway house.
The neighbor of the beast kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear weird chanting in the neighbor's house at
Yeah.
night. Oh, they're
I
religious. How
tell
nice.
yeah. I told them to shut up.
Oh dear. But yeah, so that I mean that's making the game work, and it's keeping everyone playing. Because like I'm looking forward to the next game, for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Um, we may
We kind of
miss
left it.
we may miss one night in a few weeks because it's the Saturday before a move kind of thing. But I'll
Yeah.
try. I'll try.
Yeah, yeah, cool. No, I was thinking like the end of this game where you guys found the alchemist and like
Mm,
he's just finishing his first spell and everything's moving.
yeah.
I didn't think that was going to be the end of the episode. Like I really thought you guys would resolve that whole thing and that would be the end.
Resolve the whole thing.
Which is what I was saying. Like no, no, like this rift battle
Yeah.
over this rift, whether it opens or closes,
Yeah.
I really thought would be over last Saturday. So
Oh.
I was honestly like that was in my head was oh you'll go through here, and I had a whole nother thing planned, and I was like oh that this they'll get to here and then we'll go but even though you guys got to the place really quick,
Yeah.
like way quicker than you could have, like you guys nearly just traced the path to it, like almost exactly.
Oh yeah. Right in the
Uh,
dungeon. Yeah.
yeah, you guys nearly like went like you just went doot, 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 and then we're there.
Yeah.
You could have got lost for a lot longer.
Right.
Um, yeah, it still took a long time. So
Yeah, I feel like we played a bit later than usual too, actually. Like,
yeah, we were late. We were like 9 o'clock, I think, or 10 past 9 or something.
yeah,
Partially my fault, and then partially some of you guys didn't turn up. I don't know,
yeah, I was
but yeah,
a good 10, 15 minutes late, I think, as well. 'Cause,
yeah,
yeah, just
yeah, because I was a bit late because I was coming back from a birthday party.
all right.
So I
Yeah,
was like rushing.
yeah, all good. The thing is,
Yeah,
like, none of it feels unfulfilled. So, like, each at the end of each
yeah,
game, I mean, we're like, we'll play on, but we're all so tired now. We're
yeah.
basically not quite sure what
So,
we're doing anymore.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like the guys in Melbourne are like it's like 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're going pretty hardcore at it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's awesome.
very kind of them.
Yeah, it's really good.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I don't feel like the pace is too slow, and mostly because we are basically playing every single weekend, we don't lose that much of the game momentum.
yeah,
Because
that's true.
my game, I started it I think I started it about 2 weeks before I started your one, and
Yeah.
their characters are still, I think, level 2,
Oh
and
wow.
they're possibly made enough to get to level 3, but the reality is they were supposed to be getting to level 3 after the next main encounter, because it
Yeah.
was only set up as a 3 level encounter. So they do the first bit of investigation, a little bit of combat, they go up a level. Second
Yeah.
level, they find one of the mid-range bosses and do that, and then they'd fight the end range boss, and then at their third level at the end of that. But like, it's just it's just taken so long to get there. It feels like, should they be leveling up or not? But then when I look at what they've
Yeah,
actually achieved, it's like, yeah, you guys are not really anywhere close to that yet. It's just going on for
man.
a long time, but it's been fun, so that's all right.
Sometimes just leveling them up is good though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just give them a little bit of
Yeah,
extra flavor for their character. They beef up a bit, and all I do is just rank up the DC of the fights. But the thing
yeah,
is, like,
exactly.
because they are only level 1 and 2, I haven't done much combat with them because it's like you guys are
Yeah,
weak as you fought some giant
yeah,
rats, and now they've fought like a few orcs. That my dice rolls
yeah.
for the orcs were so bad. Like it was supposed to
So
be a
painful.
it was supposed to be an encounter like what is it, the DC rating or no, the combat
Yeah, yeah,
whatever rating was set at one above where their maximum should have been. So I'm like, this might be a little bit tough. Maybe I'll just put one less character in there and make it a slightly less tough,
yeah.
but it'll still be pretty hard. They obliterated it because there was only like there was I think out of 5 attacks of the main cleric dude, he got one hit in, and all of their rolls they were just like, they're describing how they're smashing the warhammer across the face of this other orc and is just splattering everything out. I'm like, yeah, you just like you did 12 damage, you had 2 life left, so yeah, you just
Yeah,
obliterate that thing. And then the
yeah, that's
next one just
horrible.
like does a crotch shot and just smashes the guy and kills him that way. And I'm just like, oh my
Well, you got
goodness.
it's like that Spectre fight that you guys
Yeah,
had. Like they had those like Spectre soldiers.
yeah,
They like it was so painful.
yeah.
Like those other guys weren't even meant to dissipate when the main guy died.
All
But I
right.
was so sick of that fight, I just let him die. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, let's all disappear.
Yeah, it
It's
was
too annoying.
obliterated. Yeah, but that
Yeah,
was the dice that night, and yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. It felt like it was doing that to me as a DM. I was just getting my entire group just got destroyed. It was supposed to be like an orcish scouting party,
yeah,
and it was supposed to be like I think it was a 5-on-5 fight, and the main guy was level 3, the other groups were level 2, but
yeah.
they just bashed him so hard. Even I think I managed to get one guy that managed to run and escape. Like I was using tactics of the bowman, stepping behind cover, stepping out of cover, firing, and then stepping back
Yeah,
behind cover, um,
yeah,
so that they could get like any range attacks would be at disadvantage against
yeah,
them.
yeah,
They'd be able to like handle a bit of better combat, while the actual party ran in and tried to fight. But yeah, it didn't matter. It really didn't matter.
yeah,
They
yeah.
just the rolls were so bad. It's just like, yeah, everything misses, bounces off your armor. You don't even have armor. Okay, well it just misses, flies off into the woods nearby. Yep. They're
Yeah,
sitting there
I
looking at the
remember.
weapons like, what? What's going on? And yeah, and then you smash its face in with a giant warhammer.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's the way it goes. So in
yeah,
saying that, like, I don't want to start stepping up the combat rating with them because I don't know what they can actually do, and I don't know what they're capable of fighting. Because
yeah,
it's just been such a bunch of like really easy fights for them that if I do step it up to something slightly harder, it might just completely obliterate them.
yeah.
And
Well, I
because
mean,
yeah,
it is good to make them have to run.
that's
It's
true.
not a bad thing.
That's true. Yep.
It's not a bad thing to make a giant creature that they have to run from.
Yeah, but you also need to put in like a if one of them's stupid enough to not run, you need a like a fail
Yeah,
safe in there. So um,
yeah, the failsafe is they have to roll another character.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I know
guess
it is
yeah,
annoying.
yeah.
It's the same thing I had as well. It's like I was worried. I'm like, if I kill someone, they might like not want to play anymore, and
Yeah,
then you just, because you haven't got everyone invested yet. So
yeah.
it's a hard one.
Yeah, it did change the pace of the other game that I played where I was the necromancer guy, because his shifted to a cleric and he is so weak now. Like he threw out his spell book
Yeah,
and all of his equipment because it was all tainted with necromantic stuff, and he's just like dropped it all into a bag of holding, threw it into a river, got rid of it all. But now he's got like basically no combat spells, very little good utility
awesome,
spells. He's become a cleric. He's now a level 3 cleric, so he can do spiritual hammer and bless, and that is about it.
great.
But he's like level 8. He's a level 8 dude all up, and I'm just like, yeah, this is stupid. I can summon a phantom steed at third level as a third level spell. I've got no fireballs, no lightning bolts, no flight, no
Yeah,
invisibility. Oh no, I've got invisibility, thankfully. Um,
yeah.
but but then the other characters, they also died. Like a few of those guys died, and they've re-rolled up new characters. But it completely changed the momentum of the game. It's like where it was
Yeah,
moving at a really good pace. Now we're like reinventing ourselves as a party and as a people, and the whole
yeah,
dynamics shifting. And we're all like, we're running really slow now. It's what should have been completed within probably like a couple of games has now really dragged on for a few months, and it's like it's
yeah,
starting to get a bit boring because of that, because we've sort of lost the story that we had. Even though we're
yeah,
trying to follow on with the same story, the new characters aren't as invested in it as what the rest of us were, because it's like
yeah,
that I just got off a ship. I used to be a pirate. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, we're fighting an entire evil cult that's trying to take over the northern part of this land. So you want in?
yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Would you like to join us?
yeah. I can. Here's a gold piece. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that side of it's a little bit hard. So if I am going to introduce hardcore combat, probably going to need to have like, you remember
yeah.
like that
It that
game you had we played with you ages ago where you had like that high level cleric or paladin or whatever he was, like
Avulius.
Avulius. Yes.
Yeah,
Just have one of those guys appear for a bit. It's like,
yeah,
yes, come help me find this thing, and he can like at least act as a little bit of a boundary guard. So if it looks like everyone's getting the crap beaten out of them, like I think also like what you
yeah,
did with the monks when we fought the lizard people.
yeah,
It's just like the
yeah,
fight was getting pretty intense, but it's like, oh, if if the opportunities there is if we started losing, you could at least have your
yeah,
guys start winning and turning the tide, kind of thing.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
And it's also creates a feeling of like a lot more realism because, and that's the same with Jadis. Like it's like it creates this feeling of like, oh, we're not the toughest things in this whole world. It's
yeah,
like we're just little tiny dudes, and there's like super powerful guys, and there's super powerful
yeah,
creatures, and it's like there's
yeah,
it gives you a much more realistic feel.
yeah. Yeah, I guess so. There's not enough of the like the impact of what the gods and god worship does in a realm like that, because like
Yeah,
you'll get cults, you'll get actual divine intervention on stuff happening. Don't go into that part of the wood because there's a shrine there to a particular god, and it may, and we've heard people end up getting completely messed up from it, kind of thing. But like that's a rich environment for that. There's so much lore around that in those kind
yeah,
of
it's
realms,
awesome.
but like you have to be so invested in the storyline, not the storyline. You have to be so
Yeah,
invested in the world itself as a creator
yeah,
in order to
yeah,
actually enrich your story with that. And
yeah,
that
yeah.
takes a lot of time. It's a bit hard to do. So,
It is. It's
yeah,
very difficult,
yeah,
and even if you have the time, it's still hard
yeah. So what
because
you,
you have it.
uh,
Well, you have to create a whole bunch of stuff that's never going to get used
yeah,
because it
yeah,
like to like that's why a lot of video games have narrow pathways and stuff because
yeah,
it's like you can make those really detailed,
yeah,
but if you go outside of that, it's just empty.
yeah,
And but if you want to create a rich texture, you have to have every alleyway drawn out, and
yeah,
it's got to be expansive on either end, so
yeah,
players can't find an end to it.
yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I think what I've been doing for storyline creation is just basically stealing TV shows plot ideas and books that I've read's plot
Like
ideas, because
like
otherwise,
Friends.
yeah, pretty much. I was thinking of them like hanging out in coffee shops regularly and just cracking one-liners, or maybe a
living
little bit of
across
How I Met Your
living
Mother.
across from each other.
Yeah, that's right. um, or like Buffy, the
Oh
Vampire
yeah,
Slayer. Just you're all a bunch of high school students, and
yeah.
you got to save the
You have
world. Good
emotional
luck.
issues.
Yeah. Um, no, but yeah, just try and steal as much of that stuff as possible and hope no one's really actually seen the world too much. Like I've got a general storyline, but to be honest, it's like I don't know how it all fits together. I'm real George R. Martining this story. It's just like I've created kind of a
I
world.
think, but I think that's what everyone does.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
because I started this story by borrowing things,
Yeah.
and now it's just this is all just my stuff now. Like I
Right.
don't, none of this is borrowed.
All
Like
right.
I've just made all this now.
Oh,
Like
nice.
the stuff that I borrowed was about the first month or so, and
Right.
then after that, like things started slotting in place about
Yeah.
what was happening, and through all these random interactions, I built a storyline.
Right.
So and then it started explaining itself to me. So it's
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
and
that's because I've been following an actual like game story roughly. Like
yeah,
I created the world. I put the game storyline in it, sort of. Um, and we're just following those bits along. But I'm like they're reaching the point where they're just about to finish this section, and it's going to open up the main story.
yeah,
But it's like I don't know where that's going to go from there. I've got a vague idea that I'm literally just plot stealing out of some TV shows,
yeah,
um, and I'll see where that goes. But it's not because it's got no direction yet. It's really hard to create content. I'm just doing some side quest stuff, and it's
yeah, yeah,
fun, but it ultimately it doesn't really lead to much. So I need a
yeah,
little bit more purpose. But I must admit, the dream sequences and the backstory stuff that
yeah,
really helps because it's like now they've got five quests to play because there's
yeah,
five characters, and so it's like cool.
yeah.
And hopefully I can
No, that's awesome.
bring all that together in a storyline of the main story that I'm running. I just don't know
Yeah,
where they
cool.
fit in it yet. Mm.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, you just like wait and it'll reveal itself. That's how I find it happens.
All right, hopefully that's good. All right, should probably wrap it up. It's quite a ways, so
Yeah.